Hey, I'm Ashley Adamson. This is a new series called Tea Time. It's unedited, it's unscripted, and we're going to talk about sexuality, insecurity, and managing yourself and your goals. This is an exploration as I want to just cover these topics, but I don't have any set opinions into how we're going to cover it today. I just want to explore them as I've been processing and moving through things this week. I'll talk a little bit about myself in terms of stories, but I really want to focus on these concepts and topics. So also, if you'd like to suggest topics or have any thoughts or comments, please write a comment below. I'd love to hear from you, and maybe we can cover it in the next video. So let's see here. Sexuality. Sexuality shifts. It's not static for me. I don't know how it is for you, but it's been changing a lot lately. And it's such a strange process to move through your sexuality, as things can sometimes come back when you kind of like left them alone, or your evolution of your sexuality kind of moves and shape shifts in ways that you never expect it to. When I first transitioned, I was dating a woman, and then I kind of got really into men because I found that their masculinity really helped me pull in my femininity. It really helped me hold space for my femininity because they were holding masculine space, and so they were the masculine and I was the feminine. And those gender roles really helped me set aside space within myself to kind of move as a woman, and that's really been helpful and amazing. But lately I've been thinking about women, which has totally been a strange shift for me. It's like becoming more comfortable in your own femininity or your own self. You can start to explore sex with in different ways than you previously were comfortable with. I used to be a top as a man, and I've only been a bottom as a woman because being a top brought so much up for me that I wasn't really ready for that. But now things are starting to shift, and I'm looking at women a little differently, oh, hi. Which is a great indicator of one's own evolution, right? I'm 2.5 years in, and that evolution has kind of changed a lot. I wonder how your sexuality has kind of changed in the past few years. Has it remained static? Do you kind of sit in one place? I haven't really found that one thing. Have you found that one thing that you're really into? I wonder if that's even a thing, if there is just one thing, or if it really is just a continual fluid thing. I also wonder about how this is going to evolve as you get older, because if you continue to explore kinky things, do you just need kinky things to get kinkier as you progress? Is it a never-ending kind of thing, or do you also just get bored of kinkiness? I don't really know. I've heard mixed reviews on both of these things. So that sexuality is evolving. Insecurity. I have put up the mirror to myself recently and realized that there's some things that I just wasn't willing to see, or I've been tricking myself into not acknowledging. Have you caught yourself doing that before, where you realize that you've been hiding something from yourself? Being a woman was a big thing for me. That I hid that one really well. So well, in fact, my mom was like, I didn't know, and she expected as if she would know, and I was like, well, I didn't know either. But more recently, I have been hiding my insecurity by kind of creating a shell of security within myself. This story of, oh, I'm secure, so I don't need to believe that I'm insecure, which sounds really dumb, but it can lead to some really strange situations where you're being insecure about someone else's insecurity, but it's coming across as if you are secure, and you're treating yourself in a way where you think you're secure. So I had that experience yesterday where someone was being insecure about some stuff, and I said some things that were kind of insecure and targeted towards them. But that was just my insecurity, and I was blaming their insecurity as them being the negative one, or being the thing that was, Anyways, the mirror, right? The mirror, it's good to reflect back at yourself sometimes the things that you're hiding, and owning that, right? I need to own the parts of me that are insecure so I can move on and I can move forward to kind of work on these things. So that's come up for me this past week. Then the last thing is managing your goals and managing your expectations, managing yourself. The older I get, the more I realize that the trick to life is understanding that you need to learn how you work and how to manage the way that how you work. And the way that your brain thinks about things is not necessarily how you should be managing yourself. I'm going to say that one more time in a different way. Your brain thinks that it knows the best for you and you often follow it, but it doesn't really know what's the best for it. So what I mean by this is your brain may be like, in the morning, I want to check my phone. I think that would be a great thing to do. And you follow through with that and you're like, great. But then you get a rush of anxiety. You're training your brain to be short attention span. And then, before you know it, you've lost time in bed and you haven't gotten moving. So that's something I've been learning through this process of working remotely and working at home is how do you know better than your brain through the consistency and patterns that you see yourself move through, and what's the most supportive process for your body, which is also going to affect your mind, right? So for me, that means no cell phones in the morning, no cell phones, because that's going to train your brain in the wrong direction. It's going to train it in addictive patterns, and it's going to move it in a way where it's going to be kind of lost. I get a little overwhelmed when I open up my feed and I see all this like news that's a little terrifying, So managing myself has been a big topic because I've also been working on a side business, which I'm going to be launching in the next week. And it means that other things have also been falling back in my priorities. I haven't been posting as much. I haven't finished editing this next video about being a trans egg. That's coming soon, but right now I just haven't had the time, so I'm just making time to give a short video because I want to do at least one video a week. But with tea time, hopefully we can do several videos a week and I can read your comments and kind of work off of some of the topics that you suggest to me there. So those are some of the topics to cover. Thank you for coming with me for my first tea time. Cheers. I wonder what you're drinking. Write me a comment down below. I'm drinking some honey and some mugwort, I think, with some mint and peppermint. I will see you tomorrow or next time. Bye.